Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. I have the coolest thing. I have a 1912 Olympic diploma from the Stockholm Olympics in Sweden.
This is really cool. This is what they gave the top 8 finishers in each event. The girl on there sure is a fashion statement, isn't she?
She's I found the diploma in a small charity shop for $4. The whole thing is written in Swedish, and I don't read a bit of Swedish. I went on the internet and found that it was a second-place finish for the United States. Go USA.
This actually has 800-meter Lackampoken Simmen. I'm assuming it's 800-meter swimming.
800-meter swimming relay, actually.
Okay.
And it's second place, and it's the United States.
You don't have the medal, too, because that would be worth a lot of money.
I do not have the medal.
Okay.
No.
That's the goddess of victory, I think.
That's actually the goddess Athene.
Okay. This is the Olympics from 1912, so you probably only had maybe 100 events. Not nearly as many people participated. The Olympics wasn't as big a deal back then yet, until Germany in 1936, because everyone hated Hitler, and it was just so great for us to beat the hell out of him. I love stuff like this. It's both a significant piece of art and a very rare sports collectible. So a lot of different collectors will be interested. It is really interesting. I like how this is really Art Deco right here. I just like the look. How much do you want for it?
$1,500. I happened to be at an online auction site that had this one, and they started the bidding at $3,250. I know you can make a lot on that one now.
Usually I like to grind away a little bit, but that sounds like a perfect price. $1,500.
Thank you. Usually they try to lowball you early, but he seemed to think it was a fair deal. Probably should have asked for more.
Hey, you're back. What can I help you with?
Oh, I'd like to sell my gold medal.
What kind of guy sells his own Olympic medal?
My wife decided she needed furniture more than she needs this.
My wife thinks we need furniture more than the Harley, and I just think it's ridiculous.
I came to the pawn shop today to see if I could sell my 1984 sample gold Olympic medal. I'd like to sell this for $2,000, but I'd probably settle for $1,000.
So where in the world did you get this?
Well, I had a pawn shop, and in 1987, this was brought in to me to pawn.
Okay. I see it's a sample. How did the person get it to pawn it to you?
He worked for Jostens, which is the manufacturer of the gold medal at that time.
Yeah, I know the salesmen used to take these around to the schools with them when they were selling the class rings. This is the goddess Nike right here. It's in great shape.
When the modern Olympics started in the late 1800s, they gave out gold medals to the winners of each event. To this day, they still give out gold medals, and they can be worth a lot of money.
Was there anything really important about the '84 Olympics?
Yeah, this was the second time the Olympics were in LA. There's a lot of controversy about everyone who got the gold medals. They say, well, it really doesn't count as much since the Russians weren't there. What happened was the Russians invaded Afghanistan, so we had boycotted their Olympics. So in '84, they came up with an excuse to boycott our Olympics, and then we invaded Afghanistan later.
Right.
Olympic medals can be worth anywhere from thousands of dollars to hundreds of thousands of dollars. But one given out to a well-known athlete like Carl Lewis or Michael Phelps, that would be priceless.
So what did you want for it?
I wanted to get $2,000 for it.
The problem with Olympic medals is there's so few that come on the market. It's really hard to come up with a price. You know, I don't mean to insult you or anything, but I'd give you like $300 for it.
Wouldn't split the difference with me? 1,000?
No, I'd go like $350. Problem is, it's a sample. It's in a nice case and everything, but it's still not the real deal.
Right.
I mean, I have the other Olympic medals. They've been sitting here forever. I think this would be even harder to sell. I mean, $350 would be it, man.
It's worth more than that. I'll have to pass.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing it in, though. I appreciate it.
I'm disappointed I couldn't sell my medal, but I feel that it is worth more than what they have right now.
Hey, how can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to see about selling my urine pin.
Okay.
I came to the pawn shop today to see if I could sell my Olympic urine test pin. I was an international competing cyclist trying to qualify for the Olympics, and I had to do a drug test for the Olympic Committee. I'd like to get $500 for it. I'd walk away happy.
What's a urine pin?
Good question. I raced international cycling for quite a few years, and you take a drug test for the Olympic Committee. I guess it's some reward for filling the cup.
So it was a random drug test?
Not random. I finished 4th in a race, so you had to be kind of a world-class top finisher to even take the test. One way they cheated was they put bleach or something under their fingernails, and they would put it in the urine stream. Another way is they would bring like a balloon inside the drug testing booth, and they would have, you know, their wife's urine in it, and they would put it in the cup. And that's why they had to do visual inspection.
Olympic memorabilia has always been hot with sports collectors. As strange as it sounds, there's actually people out there who would want to buy an Olympic P-test pen. All right, so what do you want to do with it?
I'd like to sell it because I really don't want it anymore.
How much you want for it?
$500.
$500 seems like an awful lot. And because it's not from the Olympics, it's sort of like in between. How's $100 sound?
That sounds a little light. It's super unique.
I'll give you $150.
I mean, I had to pee in a beaker in front of people for this thing. I gave a lot. I mean, it says it right there, I gave.
Yeah, you gave him something you didn't want. 150's it. It really is.
Okay, I'll do it.
All right, 150.
I'm happy with 150. I would have been happier with $250 or $300, but I'll take 150.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good.
What do we got?
Got something very special here. I have the Olympic torch from the 1984 Summer Games,
Okay.
which I actually ran with the torch.
All right, it's pretty cool. So is there a technique for running with a lit torch?
Of course there is. You wouldn't hold it under your chin. I came to the pawn shop today to try to sell my 1984 Olympic torch. The least amount that I would take is probably between $3,000 and $3,500. I'd really like to get $5,000.
What made you so special you got to run with the torch?
Well, interesting enough, my dad got to choose 3 runners. And of course, being his son, I got nominated as one of the runners. I was 17 years old. It was the most phenomenal thing I've ever done in my life. And I even signed autographs after.
The Olympic flame has been part of the Olympic Games since ancient Greece. They keep it burning to represent man's control over nature. But running with the torch really didn't start until the 1936 Games in Berlin. Okay, so does it take oil or butane?
I don't know what kind of fuel it takes. I've never taken it apart. I brought it home, stuck it in the box, and put it up in the closet. It's been there for 28 years. Interesting enough, it actually comes with an owner's manual.
Okay. Oh, it takes propane.
Oh, okay.
At least you still have all the paperwork with it. Can I see it?
Sure.
I mean, it is really well made. It's all brass, leather.
Right now, it's killing me that you're even touching it. When people come over, they don't get to touch it. They can see it, they can look at my pictures, but they can't touch it.
So you have pictures of you running with it?
Yeah, I sure do.
Yeah, you were a lot younger back then.
Yeah.
This thing is pretty amazing. The torch is probably the most iconic symbol of the modern day Olympics. So it'd definitely make an awesome addition to someone's collection. Why would you want to sell it?
My son surfs, and he wants me to get back into surfing with him, so we got to get a couple new boards and wetsuits, and could use the money.
Okay, I understand. How much did you want for it?
$5,000.
I'm sure it's real. Okay, it's just the whole, what are they going for? It's not like you see Olympic torches every day. Do you mind if I call up a buddy of mine to see what this thing is worth?
Sure.
Have him come down and take a look at it, see what we can do, okay?
Thank you. I'm really excited that they're going to go ahead and bring in an expert to look at my torch because it is authentic. I did run with it, and I do have all the documentation for the torch.
Jeremy, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on, Corey? The guys call me down to the pawn shop anytime they have a piece of sports memorabilia that they need some more information on.
I have an Olympic torch.
Oh, man, that is awesome. May I take a look?
Sure.
Okay, so 1984 Los Angeles Olympic Games.
That's correct.
Where in the world did you get this?
I ran with it.
Did you?
Yes.
The 1984 Games in Los Angeles, the United States destroyed the competition. Unfortunately, our success is a little bit lopsided because of the boycott. The 1984 Games were going on amidst the Cold War between us and the Soviet Union. In 1980, we boycotted the Games in Moscow, and again in 1984, the Soviet Union returned the favor and boycotted the LA Games. In the world of international sports, there's no symbol more profound than an Olympic torch. In 1984, the torch is sold for a donation of around a few $1,000s.
So obviously there was a lot of these.
This particular year, there's 5,000.
Okay.
Previous years, there's as little as 2 dozen back in '52 in Helsinki. I think there's around 15,000 in Atlanta. So as far as scarcity goes, this kind of falls in the middle of the spectrum. In dealing with sports memorabilia, you don't see Olympic torches come up for sale all too often. But when they do, they're highly collectible, and there's many people that fight over them. So Rick, what are your main concerns about the torch?
What's it worth?
Okay. I've seen Olympic torches get as high as $500,000, but that's for one limited under 22 production made back in the 50s. With this particular torch being as available as it is in today's economy, they sell very consistently from around $1,200 up to about $1,700.
I thought it'd be worth a lot more.
All right, thanks, Jeremy.
Anytime, Rick.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, Corey. I know the seller is looking for a little bit more money than what it's worth, but he actually held the torch, and there's a certain degree of sentimental value that you just can't put a price on.
So how much do you want for it?
5,000.
I'll give you 800 bucks for it.
Can't do 800.
It's a torch, it's not a medal. There being 5,000 of them out there. I would go 1,000 bucks on it.
1,500, that's my minimum.
I can't do it. 1,000 would be it.
It's worth more to me than $1,000, so I think I'll hold on to it.
And I completely understand. Thanks for bringing it in. Appreciate it.
We weren't able to make the deal on the torch today, but I think I'm going to put it back up in the closet for another 28 years.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
All right, another gun that won't sell.
Not exactly.
Not exactly. Okay, what do we got?
A hockey stick signed by the Miracle on Ice Olympic hockey team.
It's a little hockey stick.
I decided to come to the pawn shop today to try to sell my hockey stick signed by the 1980 Miracle on Ice Olympic hockey team. It is a one-of-a-kind, very unique item. I wouldn't take less than $5,000 for it today.
So you had everyone on the team sign it.
Mm-hmm.
Who acquired all these signatures for you?
Before the games in 1980, my uncle was a bus driver, and one of his charter trips was to pick up the hockey team and drive them to the airport. And so at that time, I got all the players and the assistant coaches. Then in 1994, I was working at a country club, and Herb Brooks, the head coach, came in, asked him if I could get the stick there before he left, if he would sign it, and he did.
The 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team was a bunch of college kids and amateurs, and they were going to take on the Russians, who were considered unbeatable. And they kicked the Russians' asses. It was one of the greatest upsets of all time.
This was the game of the century. I don't know who designated as a Miracle on Ice, but that's what it was.
They weren't expected really to do anything that year. I mean, there wasn't really high expectations for them to win any medal at all.
You know, what they did was a miracle, and a lot of experts say that it was the greatest moment in American sporting history.
If I can get these signatures verified, there's no question I want this stick. I know a ton of collectors who would think this thing is absolutely priceless.
And what were you looking to do with it?
I'm looking to sell it if the price is right.
I mean, the problem is there's only one of them that exists, probably not something to compare it to, and it's really difficult coming up with a price that way. I got a buddy, he knows about autographs, he can tell us if they're all legit. Let me get him down here, and I'll try and come up with a price. Can you come back?
Yeah, sure can.
All right, thanks.
All right, great, thank you.
Hey, thanks a lot for coming down.
I'm not concerned about the expert coming to take a look at the stick to authenticate it. I'm positive it's 100% authentic.
I'm Drew with Authentic Autographs Unlimited, and I'm a forensic document examiner. What's the story on this one?
I've got signatures from the 20 players of the 1980 Olympic hockey team. The head coach, Herb Brooks, assistant coach, and goalie coach.
I remember watching this game, actually. It was fantastic. I remember just jumping on the couch after we won. It was like just amazing. So let's take a look and see if it's authentic or not. All right, let's start from the top. Jim Craig, that's the goalie. He makes this very distinct ending for his G. Capital J is always very distinctive and very consistent, so that's interesting. Ruzioni, the captain of the team. Yeah, that's Herb Brooks' signature. This is the head coach. He always takes a 0 and codes over the K. You know, it's kind of like a fast type of handwriting thing. He does that a lot. But when you put all the signatures together, it's like bringing back history, you know? This is not like a single signature where you've had very little evidence to go by. There's all kinds of evidence, and this thing is absolutely authentic.
All right.
Thanks, Drew.
You bet. All right,
You're the man. I appreciate it.
Take care. You bet. It's amazing. Value-wise, this thing can be worth thousands of dollars if someone really wants it bad, and I'm sure someone will pay that one day.
So what were you looking to get out of it?
$5 grand. It's a one-of-a-kind.
You know, it's really neat, but I couldn't come close to that. I mean, I would give you 1,500 bucks for it. It's just, sports memorabilia is just like the stock market. It goes up and down in value. And this particular point in history right now, it's down.
Way down.
Well, how about 4,500? I mean, don't you believe in miracles?
You know, I'll go like $2 grand on it.
I mean, I think, you know, it's that special. I might be able to get a little bit more for it.
Double it. There's a 4 and we got a deal.
No.
Not only no, hell no.
It'd be a really cool thing in my store, but we're just too far apart, I guess. Thanks.
you.
Have a good one, man.
Thank you. This stick means too much to me. I've had it for so long, and there's such a story and history with it. I just don't think 2000 is enough for me to part with it at this time.
I have an item I think you might be interested in. It's a 1988 Olympic gold medal from the Seoul Olympics.
So where'd you get it? Obviously, you didn't play for the basketball team.
No. I like the Olympics because it's an event where everybody comes together and it has recognition all over the world. I think it's just the coolest thing to have. I bought the medal for about $13,000 and I'm hoping to get about $18,000 at the pawn shop.
What do we know about it?
Well, I know that they usually engrave the side, so there's no engraving on the side, so that probably means it's for a tie break.
Not necessarily. I've got a few right here with nothing on the side.
Okay.
And I actually got those from the guy who won them.
Okay.
So we have no idea where it came from.
I know that it's just from another collector.
Okay. What you have here is something kind of interesting, man. I wish you had more of a story to go with it. This can be a sample, or it could literally be Carl Lewis's. No one's going to know.
Is there any way to find out who owned the medal and maybe the story behind it?
Not really. You know, I've dealt with it before. It'll drive you crazy trying to figure it out. When it comes to sports collectibles, an Olympic gold medal is one of the coolest things out there. But it really matters who it belonged to. It could have been one of the 36 won that year, or it could have been one that never was handed out. Without a story behind it, it's hard to guess a price. Do you mind me asking what you paid for it?
Well, I paid about $13,000 for it.
Paid $13,000 for it.
Did I pay too much?
It's really one of the only major sporting events that you can own the biggest trophy. You know, you're never gonna own the NBA championship trophy. You're never gonna own the World Series trophy. You can actually get a hold of an Olympic medal, you know, and it will be the prize of any sports collector's collection.
Okay.
Olympic medals from this year have sold for $80,000. There's also ones that have sold for $5,000. But you don't have the full story with it, and the money in these is in the details. That being said, what are you looking to get out of it?
I was looking for about $18,000.
I'm not gonna pay that. I'm not gonna pay anywhere close to it simply because I don't know what it's from. If you wanna sell it to me today, you're gonna take a $3,000 loss. I'll buy it for $10,000.
Can you move up a little bit, or is that price firm?
$10,000's a lot of money for it, man. I'm not gonna pay you anymore.
I was hoping to at least break even on the item, so.
You know, I think you paid a little too much for it. You kind of took a leap of faith there.
Okay.
All right, so it's up to you. $10,000 is what I'll pay.
I really don't want to take a loss on it, so I think I'll hold on to it and maybe do some more research.
All right, man.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. I thought the offer was pretty fair, considering that we don't know who the athlete was that won the medal, but I'm going to go home and try to do some more research and figure out more details.
Hey, what's up?
I have something kind of interesting. It is a Wheaties box that's signed by Tonya Harding.
I didn't know Tonya Harding was ever on a Wheaties box.
She was. That's Tonya Harding.
That's Tonya Harding.
Do you want to see some more Tonya Harding?
Yeah, let's see some.
I got some more Tonya Harding.
Were you friends with her or something?
Actually, the box is my mom's, and a friend of my mom's ended up being Tonya Harding's roommate. At some point when she moved out, there's a bunch of stuff essentially left for trash.
Never big on Wheaties, though.
Tasted like really crappy Raisin Bran.
I'm coming in to see what I can get for a Wheaties box signed by Tonya Harding, 4 personal photographs, and a chaperone badge of her ex-husband's Jeff Gillooly. I'd like to ask for $500, but I mean, I'd be happy going away with a couple $100 from it. It's cool to have, but it'd be even cooler to have it be turned into money.
This is really interesting.
You don't happen to have like a police baton in there, do you?
No, but I also have this in there.
Okay. The Jeff Gillooly badge. I mean, this adds to the creep factor. It definitely does. I mean, it was the perfect made-for-TV movie back in the early 90s. I mean, you had Tonya Harding, who grew up kind of on the wrong side of the tracks, and You had Nancy Kerrigan, who had like every coach in the world by the time she was 12. You know, so they were always such rivals. And then this guy, Jeff Gillooly, he was her husband, and he was basically the guy who decides to take it way too far.
Yeah, take it way beyond the next level, yeah.
I believe this is Jeff right there.
Yeah, he hired some guy to whack Nancy Kerrigan in the knee.
And he's the one who just basically destroyed her career. Even after getting clubbed in the leg, Nancy Kerrigan was still able to perform in the Olympics and win the silver medal. While Tonya Harding finished 8th place and didn't win anything. Karma is a bitch. It's neat, though. I mean, there's people out who collect Wheaties boxes.
Right.
Yeah, I can almost guarantee you what the Tonya Harding Wheaties box is General Mills was probably talking to her if she won the Olympics. This is what the box is going to look like. Well, this would have been pre-Olympics or something like that. So what do you want for all the Tonya Harding stuff?
I was thinking about $500.
I feel like I could hire Tonya Harding to come down here and hang out for $500.
Do you mind if I have someone look at it?
Oh, please do.
Okay. Give Jeremy a call and have him look at it. Maybe there's something here.
All right.
All right.
I feel great about an expert checking these items out because they're completely legit. If I get the full $500, I'm gonna have to give it to my mom, and she is gonna be a very happy camper.
There it is, Tonya Harding.
Very good.
This is cool, though. Jeff Gillooly's badge.
Nice, no kidding.
Now, the athletes, didn't they give them Wheaties boxes before a championship, just in case they were champions, they could put them straight into production?
Exactly. I mean, especially with Tonya Harding leading up to the Olympics in 1994. Take all the scandal aside, I mean, she was one of the top-ranked, female figure skaters in the world. Skating prodigy since the age of 3, traveled the world, which, was a huge accomplishment for somebody like Tonya, given her humble roots. So Wheaties, they really wanted to put her face as the champion because, she was very important to the sport. When everybody hears the name Tonya Harding, they don't realize how good of a skater she actually was. She made it to the Olympics twice. She was a 2-time national champion. Plus, she was the first American female ever to land the triple axel in competition.
Is there a market for this stuff?
Well, the Wheaties box itself, I mean, it's going to have a market. Promotional boxes like this, I mean, they're very rare to find. Maybe about a half dozen of these would have been made for friends and family. And whenever something's notorious, it does gain value.
Yeah, and I have no idea what it's worth.
The photos themselves, I really can't put a value on. I mean, they're pretty unique. They're certainly not worthless. This badge right here, it's absolutely notorious. I think it's about a $50 item at least.
Okay.
The Wheaties box, at least $150 with a lot of room beyond that, given the right collector. You have about a $200 collection here.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
Appreciate it, buddy.
You got it. And good luck.
Thank you.
I don't know, man. I know Jeremy's right. It's probably got some value. I just don't think we can sell it. It's up to you. Whatever you want to do with it.
I'll give you $150 for it. It's weird and a little macabre, but I think that sort of adds to it, so.
How about 4? You got the personal photos and the badge.
You know what? Jeremy said it's worth $200. I think I can actually probably get a little bit more. I mean, I'll give you the $200, but that's it.
You can't do 3.
No, I'll give you $200 for all of it. That's what I could pay you.
All right.
All right, sweet.
Cool, thank you.
Come with me over here.
Okay, I feel okay about that, but since it's my mom's item, when I get the $200, I'm gonna have to give it right back over to her. I'm hoping that she'll just at least split it with me. She still comes up with $100, I come up with $100 too.
Okay, what do we got?
I've got a piece of sports memorabilia.
Hey, you want to pay attention?
It's a ticket stub from the 1900 Olympic Games.
Okay. Oh, wow. The second modern Olympics.
Yes.
I mean, it's very interesting. It's historically significant and all that other fun stuff, but it's French.
I love collecting Olympic tickets. I'm looking to sell so I can turn around and pick up some of the few that I need to complete my collection. I'm asking $200, but I would entertain maybe $100 for this particular ticket.
This is deeply cool. You know, the first modern Olympic Games were in Greece in 1896, and most people thought it was just a one-shot deal.
They were gonna just do it in Athens every 4 years. And then Paris has the World's Fair going on, and who's ever in charge of the World Fairs talked to Athens into saying, hey, let's have that Olympic thing at the World's Fair this year. And It pretty much got upstaged by everything that was going on at the World's Fair, and no one really paid attention to the Olympics.
Exactly. And there was a lot of unusual events that took place. One of the controversies was they used live pigeons in the shooting. Can you imagine how that would have gone over today?
It was a different world back then. Olympic items are almost always collectible. What makes this special is its age. We get stuff from the 50s and the 70s, but from the early 1900s, rarely. It's a cool thing. It's really fancy Art Nouveau engraving. How much you want for it?
I would like to get $200 for it.
I'd prefer to pay $100 for it.
How about $150? It's probably the oldest Olympic ticket you'll find.
I imagine the ones from 1896 would probably be the most expensive, most desirable. How about $125?
Well, I think we could reach an agreement there.
It's a deal. Great. Hey, you want to run them up some?
Yeah, meet me over there.
The first offer was a little low, but $125, that is a fair price for both of us.
What do we have there?
We've got a 1936 Olympic pin from Berlin, Germany.
Where in the world did you find this?
Well, 2 or 3 years ago, I was playing poker with this old German man. We called him Goose. I beat him out of a couple $100, and he only had 100. He drank so much that night, he wanted to give me that for the other 100, so I took it.
Okay, where are you from?
From Arkansas.
Is that legal there? No comment?
This pin, I think, was from the 1936 Olympics, back when Hitler was in charge. So it was a very controversial Olympics. I want to sell this pin today because it's finally time to collect the $100 that old Goose owes me.
This is pretty cool. This was the first mega Olympics like we're used to today, where it's like this grand event. I mean, Hitler wanted to show the world that he had the master race and the greatest economy and all this other stuff, and all he really did was show the world he was an ass. But the people in Berlin sort of liked it because it was the first time in years where they actually had a little bit of freedom.
Okay.
The 1936 Olympics happened at a really crazy time. Hitler was in power, but when the Olympic Committee granted Berlin the right to the Olympics that year, he wasn't in power. They never expected this racist a-hole to be running the Olympics. So you're in this thing $100.
Yes, sir.
And how much do you want for it?
Thinking about 300.
Well, I mean, it's really historically significant, but every other gift shop would have these things.
All right.
So I'll give you $75.
Can't do 200?
I'll tell you what, I'll give you $100.
$100, that's it, huh?
$100 is it.
All right, let's take it.
All right, cool. Thanks, man. Come on over here, I'll write you up.
Yes, sir. I'm not sure what I'm going to spend $100 on, but one thing I know is I won't be gambling with Goose because it took me 3 years to get my money.
Hey, how's it going?
I brought this stadium coat worn by a U.S. athlete that competed in the 1956 Winter Olympics.
Hey, Pops.
What?
You look stylish in this. You want to try it on?
Okay. I look like a polar bear.
I decided to come to the pawn shop today to sell my Winter Olympics coat. I buy vintage clothing. It's probably the most historical thing I've ever found. I think the coat is worth at least $1,200, but I'd be willing to negotiate.
Where did you get this thing?
I bought it at a thrift store in New England, and I saw this patch, and when I checked the interior, it's when I saw the label that said that the wool was loomed especially for the USA Olympic Team 1956.
Okay.
And here's a picture of two of the athletes that won gold that year, wearing it on the front cover of Sports Illustrated.
It was the height of the Cold War and was the first year the Soviets had ever been in the Winter Olympics.
The televising of the Winter Olympics was a huge thing.
The 1956 Winter Olympics was the first to be broadcast on television in multiple countries all over the world. And because the Cold War was raging, the games became another propaganda tool. Do you have the hood?
I was hoping you wouldn't notice that, but it is missing the hood.
Okay.
How many have survived, really, out of 67?
It is a nice wool jacket.
Beautiful.
Even though it's missing the hood, this coat is amazing. In 1956, there was only 24 events in the Winter Olympics. Fewer events means fewer athletes, so this has to be rare.
All right, so what do you want to do with it?
I'd like to sell it.
Okay. And how much do you want for it?
I'm looking for $1,200.
Ooh.
Well, I know, but where are you going to find another one?
Normally, I'd call in a buddy of mine to check this out, see what it's worth, but he's out of town at the moment, so.
So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking like $600.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that seems low.
If we knew what athlete it came from, that would raise the value tremendously.
Could you do 1,000? It's rare. Somebody wants this coat for their collection.
I know they're rare, okay, but it's not an Olympic medal.
Right.
The best I can do is $600. I think that's a fair offer.
$850, or I have to leave with the coat.
All right.
Beautiful.
All right, just tell me, what'd you get it for in the thrift store?
Less than $15.
That's a good score.
$850 is a lot of money for something you're not sure about. But if this coat is as rare as I think it is, I might have hit a home run. As soon as my buddy Jeremy gets back in town, I'll have him take a look. Hey, Jeremy, what's up?
Rick, what's going on, man? I own Ultimate Sports Cards and Memorabilia here in Las Vegas, and I'm an expert in sports memorabilia and cards.
It's a 1956 Winter Olympics coat worn only by the athletes.
Well, the 56 Winter Games, it was only the 7th Winter Olympics ever. Most importantly, this would have been the Soviet Union's debut in the Winter Olympics. Their main focus was to demonstrate the superiority of communism. And they kind of did that by just obliterating the competition, winning 16 medals. It was the first time that they'd even ever played ice hockey, and they actually won the gold.
Well, it was the Soviets. I mean, they got themselves a hockey team and made them go 24/7 practicing, I imagine.
Right.
Or they would have killed them.
Exactly.
So how did the United States do that year?
The United States did okay. We won 7 medals total. We definitely dominated in the figure skating. We won a silver in hockey, and for the U.S. hockey team, placing ahead of Canada, getting the silver in the Olympics, that was certainly a first for us and a big feat nonetheless. So what are your concerns about the jacket, Rick?
Basically, what is it worth? I mean, there's only 60-some made, which makes it pretty rare.
First of all, let's just go ahead and take a look. There's no hood, which I could see that from right here, it would snap on. And right here on the inside, we certainly do have some different tags right here. Okay. Well, what I can tell you is that this is, without a doubt, one of the coats issued to the 56 Winter Olympic team. This coat would have been given to all the different athletes and featured during the opening ceremonies as they marched into the stadium. Now, as far as the value goes, you'd mentioned that it was bought at a thrift shop, so we couldn't pin it to any particular athlete. You know, had it been the gold medal winners in figure skating, it would bump it up considerably. The fact we're missing a hood, I would probably value this coat at $800.
That's it?
Yeah, just it is a narrow market for something like this.
Okay, damn, I paid $850 for it.
$850? Yeah, that's around what I would probably see it selling for. These are really rare and unique, so you might be able to turn it for something there, sure.
Well, it's all your fault I paid $850 for it because you were out of town and I just had to figure out a price.
We're supposed to make money. You paid too much again. You screwed up again.
I didn't pay too much. I still think I'll make money off it, all right?
Whatever. You got a nice jacket, Rick.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome, Rick. I'll see you guys.
Hey, thanks, guy.
Anytime.
No, I can't know everything.
You should.